You are exhausted. Every morning you drag yourself out of bed, feeling an invisible weight crushing your shoulders. You think it's because you are weak. You blame your own willpower, but you are wrong. You are exhausted because the system was designed exactly for you to feel this way. You think the bureaucracy in your life, the complex taxes, the endless meetings and the meaningless rules are a mistake. They are not mistakes. They are mechanisms of friction deliberately engineered to slow you down, drain your energy, and prevent you from ever seeing the bigger picture. If you want to control a man, you don't need to put him in physical chains. You just make his life so busy, so cumbersome, and so complicated that he cannot find the strength to look up and rebel. Complexity is the ultimate tool of control used by the elite. They drown you in paperwork, debt, and sluggish systems, so that you spend your entire life running on that treadmill, burning all your energy just to survive and stay in the exact same place. The modern world did not invent this cumbersome system. It merely digitized it.
Let it end like this. There must be some way out of this nightmare.
If you want to see exactly where and why this illusion of busy work was first invented, we must travel back to the 9th century BC, to the birthplace of history's most ruthless and disciplined military machine, Sparta. Sparta, the blood-soaked city-state where art, philosophy, and luxury were strictly forbidden, and only war and absolute obedience were worshipped. While cities like Athens boasted of wealth, gold, and commerce, Sparta believed that wealth was the ultimate poison that destroyed a society. When the legendary lawgiver designed the Spartan system, he didn't just aim to train armies. He wanted to mold the human mind. He didn't just ban wealth. He knew he had to make it physically impossible for people to acquire luxury, goods, and savings. If gold and silver entered the market, Spartan soldiers would start trading. Merchants would grow rich. Classes would form, and that unbreakable discipline would be completely corrupted by the comfort of money. To stop this, the lawgiver executed the most ruthless and brilliant economic maneuver in history. He didn't eliminate money. He turned money into an instrument of torture. He presented a law to the Spartan council completely banning the use of gold and silver coins. And he invented a brand new currency to take their place. This money did not shine like gold. It wasn't light like silver. This money was made of crude iron, forged in dark furnaces. But iron alone wasn't enough. While the iron rods were still glowing red hot, he plunged them in vinegar instead of water. The vinegar destroyed the iron's chemistry, turning it into brittle, unworkable, and completely worthless trash. Meet the Pelanor, the money of Sparta, a crude, rusted, massive iron spit, a grotesque object completely stripped of the elegance and power of gold. Because it was cooled in vinegar, it was so brittle that it was impossible to melt it down to make a sword or a plow. It had absolutely no intrinsic value. It only had a fake value assigned to it by the system. The genius of the lawgiver was this. The value of this money was so incredibly low, and its physical size was so massive that even to buy simple food from the market, you had to drag these heavy iron spits on your back. If you wanted to be rich, to save money, you had to build a massive warehouse in your home just to store these iron bars. It was physically impossible to hide your wealth. If you wanted to make a serious purchase, like buying a piece of land, you needed a massive ox cart just to transport your money. He made the money so cumbersome that the physical exhaustion of using it was greater than the benefit it brought. Theft was completely eliminated because no thief could carry away tons of worthless iron bars on his back. Bribery ended. Secret fortunes vanished. And most importantly, commerce died. No foreign merchant came to Sparta to sell their goods in exchange for these worthless, unmovable piles of iron. Sparta isolated itself perfectly. The system worked flawlessly. Spartans couldn't buy luxury goods. They couldn't become merchants. They couldn't get rich. There was only one thing left for them to do. The only thing the system wanted from them: to be a soldier. When the architects of a system make your money heavy, they are actually nailing you to the ground. The question is, how did the modern world turn your money into a Pelanor? The architects of the modern system understood Sparta's secret perfectly. To control people, you don't need to make them carry physical iron. You just have to make the iron invisible. Today, you don't need an ox cart to carry your money. But the purchasing power of your money has been made deliberately cumbersome and inefficient, exactly like those iron bars. The modern name for this is inflation. The moment your paycheck hits your account, it begins to melt. It loses value so fast that you can never truly save, never step off that treadmill. Your money is a deliberately engineered burden. And the law of friction. Think of the endless bureaucracy you face when you try to start your own business, become independent, or buy an asset. Licenses, permits, taxes, endless paperwork. Even to use your own money, you have to ask for permission, wait for days. The system is deliberately slowed down. The purpose of this chaos is not to keep you safe. Its purpose is to break your will, to drain your energy so completely that when you return home at night, instead of building an empire that will set you free, you just collapse in front of a screen. Sparta isolated its people with walls. The modern system isolates you with tiny invisible chains. Think of those subscriptions, debt installments, and micro expenses automatically deducted from your salary every month. They are the iron weights holding you in place. The architects of the system deliberately keep your mind occupied. Entertainment, scandals, endless notifications. They tie a digital blindfold over your eyes so you never wake up and look at your own reality. The goal of that council in the 9th century BC is exactly the same as the men sitting on the top floors of those glass towers today.
Some things never change.
Never let the herd leave the field. Mental and physical exhaustion is the most guaranteed form of slavery. A man who returns home completely depleted never has the strength left to find a world-changing idea, learn a new skill, or step outside the system. You think a salaried job provides you with security. It provides absolutely no security. It only keeps you alive just enough to turn the exact same wheel tomorrow. You think the money you earn is as valuable as gold. But in reality, it is nothing more than heavy Spartan iron-painted gold on the surface. It is an illusion that you are only allowed to spend inside the system, worthless, the moment you step outside. When you try to step outside the system, bend the rules in your favor, or acquire a real asset, you crash into those invisible walls. You spend your time and energy pushing that rock to the top of the mountain. But when you reach the peak, you are left with absolutely nothing. But now you know the truth. When you look in that mirror, you see that it is time to take back the energy the system stole from you. You must drop that heavy iron. You must refuse to run inside the bureaucratic labyrinth they built to keep you tired and busy. There's only one way to do this. Eliminate the friction. Stop trading your time to earn their worthless, heavy, inflation-melting money. Instead, start acquiring hard assets that hold their value, completely immune to their inflation. Instead of being a worker who fills out the complex forms they hand you, become an architect who draws his own system. Build your own company.
I design my own
infrastructure. When you design the system in your favor, those cumbersome walls will collapse. The illusion of busy work forced upon you by the Spartan Council will shatter. The system was specifically designed to keep you exhausted, because an exhausted man can never build an empire. Rest.
Listen to me closely.
Build your strategy.
There is no turning back.
Take that heavy iron they gave you, suck and throw it at the heads of the people who wanted you to carry it. Play your own game.
Drop the iron.